Okay, let's quickly, check homeworks actually. Okay, so you see the test case. Okay, yeah, you need to put the attachment actually. It's good to put the attachment. And this is, you just copy, there's no name here. Okay. So this all information you don't have to write here. Okay, so this should be enough because you'll be anyway opening defects, right? So you don't have to write everything. You don't want to clog every information and putting every information here, and so you don't want to do that. So now you can just use this line. This should be good, and you don't have to write that one. Will be anyway opening defects. So okay, so. Okay, so this test case was not run. This is supposed to run. Okay, to run this test case, as I told you, right, you need to click this and you need to generate the result. Okay, so you need to run this test case. Okay, so let's go to the defects. Let's see, let's open like few defects today. So we have, let's quickly recap like what we are actually doing. So we have this user, we are working on this project. This is actually the project which you are working with, project 1, project 2, and project 3. And since each project has its lot of user stories, user stories is like requirements. It's called requirements. It's like requirements which will be testing that particular requirement. Okay, so these are all these requirements, and we'll just go to this user story, and so we have, this is our user story, and this we have screenshots. Okay, and so we have created task. Okay, we have created task so that we need to organize our work. Okay, because we will be doing like functional testing, and we'll be doing like system testing and integration testing and so on. Okay, so we'll be organizing this. Okay, and so that's the reason we have this task here. Okay, once you have done this, then you can write the test cases. So we have written functional test cases here only for the Chrome. Okay, we have only see here we have written only for the Chrome. Okay, so normally you need to write for all the browsers. So if you have this, you need to write for all the browsers, for the Chrome, Firefox, and Safari, Microsoft Edge, okay, and so how many browsers we have? We can work on that. So that's about the test cases. Let's go to the next topic, defects. See, can everyone hear me? Actually, see, if anyone have issues, tell me right now so that I can update the ticket, because it's not like every time. Because since we change this into new tool, right? This is like we'll be having this issue. So let me know if you are still have issues with the hearing part. If no one can listen, let me know, okay, or let your manager, also let your manager know, respective manager, okay, so that I'll try to figure it out. Okay, sort of. Okay, yeah, for that, yeah, it has disturbance, like I have already put that into um so, we have already put this, so let's see. Let's see what they will do, and I've also changed the settings a little bit, so hopefully it should get better. Okay, let's go to the defects. So here again, you need to open these defects. Okay, so once you have executed the test cases, let's say, so you have found issues, right? So not all the test cases get passed, of course. We don't write test cases to pass. We need to fail that. Yeah, as I told you, always we need to always have an opinion whenever you're trying to test an application. Okay, whenever you're trying to test an application, you need to have an opinion that this application or this database or this whatever it is, documents or application, web application, client application, database, its values, it will have issues. Okay, no matter what, it actually has issues. So I have already explained to you with that. This is like just a sample website, not actually the real website. Trust me, even google.com, I'll show you, even google.com has issues. Okay, the real time, this is a production database. Google is just this production, and it's a multi-billion-dollar company, and still it has issues. Okay, I'll show you later. We'll go through that, how does it has, and so as a software tester, you need to have an opinion that okay, you are testing this has issues. Okay, so let's say we also have found this issue, right? Even this new tool has this issue. So every application has issues some way or other. May not be that significant or that high level or very it's like sci-fi um, issue, but still it has issue. We need to find that and fix that issue. Okay, fixing is not our job, of course. We will be only working on finding it. So let's say, so at least when you go into the project, at least you need to open tickets. Okay, just don't sit idle. Okay, nobody pays you to be idle. Just make sure you understand that nobody pays you to be an idle. You need to find an issue. So the moment they give you the work, even backend, whatever ETL testing or database testing or QA or front-end application, you need to find issues. That's your job. Just to find. Okay, let's go to this defects. Now you have this defects module. You open a defect here. Okay, this is a tool. Just don't get addicted to the tool. I'm just showing you the the process here. Okay, so go to the actions, which is located in the right sidebar. You see this action, and click on new defects. Okay, you have all this option here. New defect. Go to the actions. New defect option. Okay, here. Okay, here you have so many options here. Let's go through this one by one. Okay. And here what will be, so defect ID is not mentioned here, so that will be get generated once you submit an issue. Okay, so let's see, let's put this. Here is shipping and handling. See, you need to follow these naming conventions here. Okay, again, these naming conventions are important because whenever developer or whenever manager, your boss sees this, you need to just by looking at, they have to figure it out. Okay, what's the issue is? Okay, because they don't have time to view your description and all the screenshots. Okay, managers don't have that time, and they don't even bother about it. What do you have written? Okay, so they will be worried only about this description. So naming convention is very important. So here you see. Okay, let's open up what's the issue here. So let's say you found an issue here. So told you that issue, right? Let's So here we found an issue that shipping and handling for the large quantities, when you're trying to order these many large quantities, you're getting shipping and handling as $5. Okay, so we are trying to explain that. So what you're trying to put is like shipping and handling issue here. So that's the name I put. Okay, and what is the project? I'm just giving it like hyphen and testing gym online. Okay, and okay, so this is not required normally. Start. This is not required normally in the client or wherever you work. But I use this for a different purpose. Let's say you have opened an issue which is in the production issue, which is critical issue. Let's say it's a critical issue and production issue. That means it exists in the production. Okay. Okay. Let's say you have opened a production issue. So what will I do is, right, I will use this one as star as production issue. I'll just type as production issue or critical issue. Okay. So here we'll just put it as normal. So normally if you want to put this, so normally don't use it. Say this is my personal opinion. You don't have to use the same thing, but I'm just saying, okay. It's just my personal opinion that I should do. Okay, so tags, if you have tags, put the tags. So we put just gym online. Right. And here will be putting as the issue here. Okay, when I'm trying to order large quantities, shipping and handling is showing us $5. Okay, so this is my explanation. Okay, this is okay, but this is not enough. As I told you, this is never enough. So what you will do is that so what I'll do is that for more information, please see the screenshot. Why? Because your developer won't know. So developer, see, let's say your developer is working, 3, 4 different projects. Okay, he don't know what's going on. So he'll say, okay, so where is the shipping? Now he will run around with you. Hey, so you told where is the shipping? Where is showing $5? I don't see any contract. Okay, so you don't want to happen that. So because see, you want to be like as clear as possible when you're trying to submit an issue, because you don't want them to run around and you don't have to run around, because at the end of the day you'll get a call from manager. No? Hey, can you stop by at my desk? When you get such kind of thing, that means you'll be in trouble. So make sure you don't get all those things. So be clear at first time. So what you'll do is like you just put a screenshot here. Putting a screenshot makes everyone's job easy. Your job, the manager's job, and the developer job. Most important, developer job. Okay, just put a screenshot, and so I highlight that. So showing that it's kind of Shipping and handling is $5. What I'm trying to say here is, when I'm trying to order large quantities, shipping and this will put only the information which is required. Shipping and handling, it still remains the same, and my lead said, okay, you can go ahead and open the defect, and we are just going to open a defect for this. And okay, so here you have this. Rally has pretty good feature here. What you do is you click here to insert an image. Go ahead and click on this, export, and issue this log. Okay. Okay, so here we see this, right? So I'll be putting in shipping and handling. Okay, so here it's pretty easy. So here I just wrote two lines of information. When I'm trying to order large quantities in bulk, shipping handling is showing as $5. So developer now goes through it, and okay, he gets what you're trying to say. Okay, so just make sure you put the screenshot. Okay, so either you can put by attaching here, you have this option here, or you can put in the attachment section. So go to the attachment section, and it's better to put it here, so it's easy to. If you put in the attachment section, right, you will be you have to download that attachment. So either way. Okay, so here owner. Let's go to the owner. So owner of this defect is a developer. Developer, not tester. Okay, owner of the test case is a tester. Okay, or QA analyst. So owner of a defect is developers or architects, or whoever responsible for that defect. See, normally these defects we only put to the developers, but we don't know. Sometimes the issues become so convoluted that sometimes it might be an issue of an architect itself. Sometimes the document issue, there will be a document issue. Just because it's showing here, the document didn't get updated, so it has to go to the proper channel and they have to update it. So here we'll put as developer. Who is the responsible developer? We'll put the owner. So owner of the defect. So this is important. Okay. If you don't know the developer, you can check with your lead. Okay, saying that, hey, who is the respective developer? Sometimes lead says, okay, don't worry about it. Assign it to me. I'll take care of it. To start with, they will say once you get used to it, you need to know who is your developer and who is your who is business analyst, who is product owner, who is scrum master, okay, all those things. Okay. After that, project, of course, which project you are working on, make sure which put the correct project there. And defect state. See, state, we have these various options here. This should always be in open, unless you are working on. See, let's say you are working on 3-4 projects at once. Okay, the one project is not yet started. Okay, this is not yet started, and it's long way to go, 3 months, 4 months. But you are working on it. Okay, let's say you are working on it and you want to open. So in that case, you put as submitted, because nobody cares about submission. You have submitted, but you can withdraw anytime. Okay, that's submitted. You need to always put this as the open. Let's say unless specified, unless your manager says no, just don't put it open, just put it submitted. We'll take it later. Otherwise, it should be always at open state. Why? Because if you don't put open, that means developer thinks, okay, it's only submitted. Okay, nobody cares about it, and they don't care. Okay, so email might not go to the developer, or they might not even care. Say, this is submitted, I don't care. They will say, okay, saying that, hey, you submitted, but it's not in submitted, so it should be in open state. So always make sure it is in open state. Okay. So this small thing actually matters a lot. Okay. So let's take an example. When you put this, submitted and you forget about it. Okay, let's say you forgot about it and it was submitted, and okay, let's say you 1 week has passed and you have already assigned the developer. You have done everything right, but you just by mistake you put as submitted and you forgot about it. 1 week you forgot about the defect, and you get a call from your manager. Suddenly, when you get a call from manager, says, "Hey, can you able to stop at my desk?" Now, when the manager comes and he asks, okay, so what's up with this defect? So you'll be saying, okay, yeah, I opened this defect. Why it is pending from 1 week? Why 1 day it is not resolved? Okay. Then, yeah, you said like we checked with the developer. Why the state isn't still submitted? So your boss asked, why the state is still submitted? Why it's not in open status? Right? So that's a very valid question. So now you don't have answer for that. No, I forgot. So being an experienced candidate and being, you have been working for a pretty long time and you've been experienced, you cannot say like I forgot. So that's not even, it's not even an excuse. Okay. You cannot say forgot. So the small thing. Okay, that small things makes a big difference. Okay. So they just ask a simple question there. Okay, so this is a simple question. Why this is in the submitted, why not it's an open status? You don't have answer for that. Simple. So always make sure these small things you need to make sure you do it right. Okay. So state open if you're working in the current project. Otherwise, if you're working in like future projects or something like that, you can put as submitted. And mostly they're not worried about the project or something. You're just working beforehand, something like that. Otherwise, it should be always open. Okay, then you come to the priority. Okay, we have this. So we have this, two things: priority and severity. Severity is what is the impact of the bug. Severity defines what is the impact of the bug. That means because of that bug, what's happening? How many systems are breaking down? What application is breaking down? How many test cases you're not able to execute? So that is the impact. That's called severity. And it is more related to tester point of view. Okay, severity is more related to tester point of view. Okay, so that's severity. The impact of bug. Because of that impact, what's happening? Is the production system getting down? Is your test cases are not running on? The whole team is being affected. Whole system is gone down. So on. That's the severity. Priority. What is priority? Priority means how soon the bug should be fixed. You are saying it's like you're saying to the developer saying this. I want this right now because this is the priority issue. This is like production issue. Okay, I want this to be done because priority is how soon it should be fixed. Okay, how soon the defect should be fixed is called priority. Okay. So let's go one by one here. Okay, and let's say you have this low priority. Let's say you have opened some defect. Let's go here, back here. Some low priority. Let's say this color should be in blue color, it should be in the green color. This is a very low priority. Right? So in that case, you'll be putting as low severity. It's like cosmetic issue, right? Cosmetic issue. And developer don't want to waste time on just fixing on that color, right? That color of font, you don't have that much time to fix it. So what you put is low, very low, and cosmetic issue, not big deal. Okay, so that is low severity. Let's do a minor problem. Let's say you have this, okay. Now let's say you have this minor problem, right? We go just like the GMO line. Just like we can put as the shipping and handling fee. We have this open defect, right? Shipping and so that's a minor problem. That means you can still continue with your work. You can still continue with your work, and you are opening this defect. So that is minor problem, and we will go as normal. Okay, normally this severity goes with the priority. Okay, normal. Okay, and then let's go to the next major problem. So major problem is something like let's say Let's say we have this issue in this here, right? Just go here, and just close the test page and click on this. So let's say we are accessing this URL. So this is a major problem. That means you don't know what's behind this, and you are not able to pass your test cases. You are because of this defect, you are stuck. You are not able to execute the other test cases were dead, and you are not able to proceed. And then and our whole team is actually is not able to proceed. Then that's a major problem. Okay, so whole team, then it will be a bigger problem. But here in this major problem, that means major problem, you are not able to proceed with your test cases because you are stuck with that. You don't know what's the web page supposed to show up here. That's not showing up. So you have test cases for that. Okay, now you have test cases for that. You cannot execute because the page is not showing up. Okay, so that is a major problem because you cannot proceed. Okay, now if it is major problem, you have to go with this high attention, very high attention, because or resolve immediately. Either one. Okay. And then you have one more like crash or data loss. So this is more for a production issues. So you have this production issue which is not working. Okay, and those kind of things should be a crash, and data loss. Or this kind of things also. This also can be as sub 5. Okay, I'm sorry, sub 1, severity 1, and you can open this issue. Okay, so that, and this goes with the priority, resolve immediately or high attention. Okay, so severity is the impact of the bug. Because of that bug, how much impact it is, how much impact it is causing to the system or to the, to your test cases or to the people. That is severity. And priority is how soon the defect should be fixed. That's called priority. So in this case, we'll just put as minor problem and normal. Okay, and then you have like submitted. So submitted by, mostly will be in your name. Okay, who is submitted? Okay, so this submitted will be in your name. The QA tester, responsible QA tester who is actually testing it. So that's submitted. So we forgot one more thing. That's environment. So environment, you have this various environment. As I told you, right? You have 3 major environments: development, test, and production. You also have the staging environment. If you are working on staging, you can also put as staging. But mostly this will be a test environment. Okay. If you are also, sometimes you might also work on development team, because sometimes the develop guys say, right, no, we cannot move this into test environment. We have a lot of work to do. Test only in development. And you cannot help it because you get, your boss says, okay, do it, do it. I don't have time for this. You do it right now. I don't care. So now you have no choice to test in dev environment. So you have to test in dev environment. Okay, in that scenario, so you have to do that. Okay, for now we'll just put it in test. Found in this project name, what is found in GM Online. Target build. Okay, we have so many builds, so we'll just put as 20. Fixed in, verified in is the job of the developer. So they are supposed to put that information here once they get this issue, once they get ticket to them, right? They'll be putting that information here. Target dates, and we need to complete this by 23rd. So 23rd. Affects document. So let's say that defect also affects the document. That means the document may not be appropriate, or the documents also have issues. Then you can check mark this. That means, okay, I don't know how many people are bothered about this one, but if it is there, you will check mark saying that, okay, it also affects documents. So that means all the documents, that is test plan or strategy document, whatever it is, it gets affected. So then check mark that. If you have any release notes, then you can put as a release note as check. Okay. And you have this resolution. So resolution again is the job of a developer. They have to fix this. Let's say if they have any architecture issue or code change, configuration change, database change, duplicate. When they reject the defect and say that need more information on that, and reject completely, saying that not a defect or software implementation or user interface. So we don't use this. This is the job of a developer, saying that, okay, how that defect can be resolved. Okay. So target build. Okay, yeah, somebody asked, right, what is the target build? So target build is normally it is the build, so this information you need to get from your lead, because you don't know how many builds are going on. Okay, so how many builds are there, how it's going on. So this build is normally, so as I told you, right, build is the version, a different version. So there might be more versions. Okay, there might be, one, two, three version, and some other team are testing in that version, and you are testing in one version, so on. So this information you will be getting from the lead or your manager or your boss. So there will be, not only them, even Scrum Master or a product owner has this information, which build you are working on. They are working on second build, third build, or they are like 20.001, 20.002, so on. Okay. So that's about target build. Build is like, version, which version we are working on. Okay, so let's go to the next, schedule. Schedule, again, this should be in progress. Again, it should not be defined. Okay, again, this is a simple thing. When you assign a defect, just put it as in progress. You don't want to put it defined. So if you put it defined, that means, nobody again cares. See, it's been defined. That means it's not assigned to me. I don't bother. Even if it is assigned, so it is still it's defined. They won't bother about fixing that issue. Make sure it's in progress. And once you get your developer and it said like you can just put as completed. Once you fix this issue, or the issue is fixed, you put as completed. Accepted is more job of a business analyst or product owner. Said, okay, now that accepted is option is for user story, actually not exactly for this, but then yeah, they can even do this. They accepted, that means this user story has been accepted by the business people, and it move, and they have tested this, and we have successfully completed that project and that piece of work. Okay, that goes to higher management. Higher management, like CFO, CTO, whoever is responsible, they will check. Okay, so this is accepted. Okay, now we will be having different what to do. Okay, so in this case, we'll just put as in progress. And if it is blocked, keep it blocked. Block in sense, okay. So your defect is blocked. Blocked means like something you cannot proceed. Like the reason, because there might be another defect that's blocking it. That means your defect might be dependent defect. That means if that defect gets fixed, this defect you can proceed with this defect. If that defect doesn't get fixed, you cannot fix this defect. That's the reason you have this block. So if you're blocked, let's check out this block. So now you cannot proceed. Or some other reason. Okay, so there might be plenty of reason for that. Okay, it's blocked because developer is not working on that, or blocked because there is some issue going on. So many things. Okay, and this one will just leave it empty. And if there is a reason, we put this reason here. Okay, and release, if this release, if it's ready, click on ready. That means this issue is ready. Okay. Plan estimate, let's put as 5. That means it takes 5 hours. 5 hours. Most of 5, yeah. So most of the time it's hours, right? See hours. Okay. So not. So normally it's not good 5 hours. Normally 2, because again, if you put more, right? So your boss will question you. What is there in this to test for 5 hours? What is there in this defect that you will be working on this for 5 hours? Then you have to give a good explanation. We'll just put as 2 for now. Okay. And expedite, if you want to expedite, really if it's an urgent and you put at high severity and high priority, then you should expedite and just put whatever check mark you want to do, like expedite. Yeah, you need to expedite this issue. So now we'll just, and notes, you can write a notes here saying that, okay, this defect was fixed, this defect is in process, so on. Okay, once you have done all this, then save and close. So now let's see. So we have created, we have successfully created a defect. Okay, so you have this, all this information is defect ID, you get a defect ID, DE262, that is defect 262, and the name. So here by seeing the name itself, you need to find out, right? Shipping and handling issue. That's which project, testing GMO online. What is the issue? And whatever the issue is here. And requirements, what is the requirement? So this requirement is a user story, whatever the user story, US 109. And the priority, they see the priority. Okay, yeah, somebody asked this iteration, right? Okay, let's see where did we miss this iteration actually? Oh, here we go. So let's go to that iteration. See, sometimes what happens, right? Okay, so what happens, right? Let's say you have this user story, right? You have those user story, and there are child user stories. That means there are dependent user stories. Let's say, let's take an example here. Okay, so let's say you are, you have this ETL. Okay, ETL testing, and you have this various validation. You need to do the data validation. You need to do column validation. You need to do, count mismatch, and then you need to do, okay, metadata validation. So all these things, right? So let's say there are one user story for ETL. Okay, so one user story for ETL. Then you have to have two other sub user story, that is child user story. For that you have these iterations. Okay, this one iteration, second iteration. At that time you will just which user story, which child user story are you working on? Which child user story this iteration belongs to. Okay, so that's the reason you have this iteration. Okay. Make sense? So let's go back to all this. Okay. Here you have this priority state. It should be open, not defined. Okay. And target build, whatever the build you're working on, 0.001 or 0.08, 0.09, okay, so on. Fixed in, once this gets gets fixed, so it gets this fixed in which, okay, fixed in test or fixed in development, or it gets updated. So project, which project? This is the project name. The owner of the defect will be always developer. Owner of the defect is developer. Okay. So this is about opening defects. So I'll be giving you homework on this too. Any questions so far to open a defects? See, my point is, my whole idea on this is don't get addicted to the tool. So release note, right? Yeah. So release notes. So see, these release notes are like, whenever you're, there is a set of documents. So, that means for this build, what are the fixes they have performed? What are the new features they have increased? So that is the, that is the release notes. So in this release, what are you trying to do? This is fixed. Okay. These defects are fixed, and this is the new features, and this is the new application we have added, and this in this application, two more modules have been. All this information, that is a bunch of information that you'll be having that in release note. Okay. And okay, we still want to differentiate between iteration and user stories, right? Let's quickly check out that. Okay, so I have not actually created that iteration because this iteration is more for a product owner. Let's quickly check if someone has created that iteration. So let's If you have this, just put as iteration here. So this is not done by the tester, but just as an example, I'm just showing you. Iteration for game online. Let's say you have this child user story. Okay, so you want to also do the. Let's say we will do this, regression. Okay, regression. Then you want to create a sub story because we cannot do the same functional testing in one user story, right? You need to do functional testing, you need to do regression testing or performance testing. 3 testing you have to do. But you need to, each of one of them has to mark them like, okay, we have completed this and we have completed this. Okay, so one guy cannot do 3 times. So that's the reason you need this iteration 3 times. Does it make sense? Let's say, just go here. So now this has so somebody has this iteration already. Okay, good. So that has okay, yeah, somebody created like these iteration, right? Okay, good. So this is how you can create these iterations. Okay. So we have created a sub user story, but iterations is let's see. Let me create this. Yeah. So,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. I only created the iteration. Basically, I was just wondering, like, what is the difference between the iteration and user story? Basically, what I did was like I just created an iteration and I have assigned user story to the iteration. So in the whole process, I was confused actually. What is the difference between those two?
See, user story is kind of requirement. So if you're doing like you're performing like iterations, like you're doing more than once. You're trying to do second time. You're trying to do third time. You're fourth time. So that's called iteration. Okay. So with a different reason, you want to do, let's say, these iterations is more useful for automation testing.
Okay.
Okay. So this is more, makes sense for automation, because for automation we are running the scripts. So you have these iterations, you want to do parameterization and you need to run the scripts once, twice, thrice, because of the different functionality and with the different features. Okay, you want to run that. So, so we are running the third script. That means the third iteration. Okay.
Okay.
That
So in the
yeah.
so in manual testing we don't use the iterations at all.
Right. Most of the time we don't use. I have not seen like iterations used in manual. I mean, personally, I have not seen. Most of the time it is used for the automation.
Okay.
Okay. That's how we can do it.
So do we assign tasks to the user stories, or we don't need to? We have to.
Task is, I mean, it's whenever you're trying to create task, that means you're trying to like organize your work. Okay. So let's say the test cases. Once you write the test cases, right? Let's say you have written a test cases for functional testing. Okay, you have written the
Yeah.
test case. Okay, so that's done. Once that test cases is done, you put the task as complete. Next, you'll write a task for integration testing. Okay, once you write a task for integration testing and you'll write a set of test case, you'll be having set of test case for that. You'll be running that. Once you complete those all the test cases for integration testing, then you say that task is done.
Oh, so first the process is like first you write test cases, then you write a task, is it?
No, first you have to write the task. So that what task are you working on? See, normally task is like, it can be assigned from lead or, your boss assigns it, okay, task. And then sometimes it will be just, piece of work, not necessary all sets of test cases, maybe some like, validation of this, validation of this application or validation of this, just simple one page. So that can be a task. The task for 2 hours or 5 hours, that's it. You can write the test cases, 5 to 6 test cases. Okay, so normally it is assigned from your peers. That means it is assigned from your either lead, okay, or your colleague, or from the manager. Mostly from your boss or lead. So they will assign you tasks. So they have this creation. They might create the task. So your lead can create a task, or your boss can create a task and assign it to you. Does it make sense? So based on task, based on the task you write the test cases.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So normally you can also create the task by yourself, but it's a good ways from coming from your team, that is from lead or your manager.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So so now we have so we have completed this defects. Okay, let's go to the reports. So let's say you have now your any questions in overall, any more questions in defects? Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't get that question. What is the order of process followed? Can you be a little bit more specific on that? Yeah, Shivita, you had any question like order of the process? Yeah, so order, order should be like right from the task. Okay, so first you need to write the task, then you need to write the test case, because you will be writing test cases based on the task. Okay, so that task can be as simple as this, like it can be like, okay, test this application, test this web application. Okay, so for this only you'll be writing test case. Again, you don't worry about these buttons because it's only for this this web page, only this front page, that's it. You don't worry about all these buttons, you're not going inside it. Okay, so that's the task. That can be that simple, one line statement. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the reports. So let's say you've got a you go as a lead. Okay, so if you go as a lead, then you have this two kinds of report. One is project level report, and the other is like team level report. Okay, so let's say here they are pretty they are here. We'll check on this project level report. So there are many reports like iteration burn down, okay, and velocity chart, and story burn down. So many reports are throughput. So these are all the reports. Yes, so that's one way. Manager creates a task for you and assign it to you. or the lead creates a task and assign it to you, or they'll say create a task for yourself. Okay, all the above. There can be any scenario such kind. Okay, manager can create a task and assign it to. That's one scenario. Next scenario, lead can also create a task and assign it to you. That's another scenario. And the third scenario is the manager itself will say, okay, I don't have time for this. Create yourself. Okay, so then you have to create yourself. So that's the reason I explained you in the class, right? So how to create a task. Okay, so let's go to those reports and quickly we'll check. Okay, we'll go to defects by state. Let's see this report. Okay, so this is, we have this report, and once you get this report, you can go ahead and click on this and you want to email. So let's say your boss says, okay, I want this report. I want this, complete project report by end of today. Then what you do is like you can email. So you can figure it out which report they want. Like let's say there's so many reports, right? If you're not able to find what the report, you can create your own report. Go to the add new that's located in the right sidebar and upper corner. And here you have this option, and you can add this filter, and you have all these options for you. What data you're looking on and how it should be broken down. Okay, and you can keep on adding this, and you can also add this and filters if you would like to add some filters, how you should be filtered, and run this. So you'll get a report. Okay. Now once you get a report, that's a defects by priority. Okay, so let's say you have got this report. This what you do is like go to the page tools, email, and you want to email your boss saying that okay, I've completed this report. Okay. And all this information. So if I want include an email, so I'll include me as recipient, so we'll get just the recipient and send. Okay. Now I'll get a report. Now once this is done, your boss automatically gets a report. And let's quickly check. Okay. I got this report. So this is how you can send reports to your boss. So this is more for a lead point of view. Okay. So let's say if you are in the lead, then your lead tells you to send your reports. So this is how you need to send this report. Okay. This is report gets to and they will look into this report. Okay. So this is more for a project level. So what is the how much the project is there, what is the velocity and what is the iteration, how the project is moving forward. And there is one more that is team level. Let's say you have this user story. Okay. And let's say you want these test cases. Okay, let's say we have these test cases, right? And I want this report. Okay, so I go here, actions, print report. Over here. So I'll just put it as default and press print. And so this doesn't have this option of sending in through email. Maybe you have. Click on print. It's located in the right corner. And once it gets this, see here total 28 pages, and this gets I can save in PDF and save this. Put as desktop. And this. And I can send to my boss right from email ID. This attach that. Okay, the naming convention should be good. You cannot put the same thing when you're sending. Make sure the report name should be good. Yeah, you can make sure you. This is all what we have done. Who was working on it? So everyone name should be there here. So your boss looks this report and see how many test cases they have performed. Okay, who are writing what and what are the test cases? Everything will be they will be having access to this doc too. Okay, they can download right from here. Okay, so then here you attach this and you can send it this email. Okay, so this is more for a team level report. Okay, the same way you can also do for the defects too. That is for test cases. We also have this defects, right? Just a minute. Okay, so just put as actions, go to action, print report. Print this, and you can save this. Okay, so you have this all the options we have been testing, how many defects, whatever screenshots, everything will be here. Okay, so that is two types of report. One report which you have already, that the project reports, right, like sprint burn down and throughput, defects per priority, defect by state. So, okay, so those kind of report that is like project level, and the test cases and defects that is team level reports. Just to they might ask any of the reports. So this is more for a lead point of view. If you're going
Lead point of view.
you're going as a lead, right? So that in that case, you need to submit these reports. Okay, any questions in the complete rally? So we are done with the rally. Okay, so any questions in the rally? So just make sure don't get used to the tool. So tool might change. Okay, today we are using rally, tomorrow there might be something else. Okay, we don't know. Right? Don't get too addicted to the tool. Okay. So somehow task got deleted, right? That's all. Okay. Any questions? So tomorrow we'll let me quickly check the syllabus. Tomorrow we go to various types of. Okay, so we'll go to the SharePoint. Okay, SharePoint. I'll not be giving you complete information in that. You need to figure it out. I'll be giving you access. Okay, you need to check and you need to upload this test plan. Okay, so I'll just give you just 1 minute view on this, like how does the SharePoint looks like. Okay, and we'll complete because we have this lot to complete tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be completing this one. Okay, so if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? So you can use this rally. Okay, just get like hands-on in this in rally, and don't get addicted to this only rally because you don't know what you'll be using. You might use HPALM, rally, or Jira, or Zephyr. So there is one more test management. So these are all test management too. ClearQuest. So there's a clear case. So there are so many things. So if you are in the agile environment, right? Agile environment, for most of the time rally is being used. Okay. So if you are in normal waterfall methodology, then HPLM. But it depends. Again, it depends upon the client. So they might migrate. So they don't want that tool. They might use a different tool. Okay. Sometimes open source tool. Okay. So we don't know. So we cannot have this belief that okay, now I'm going to use this rally because of the client is also using rally. You cannot have that because you never know. They might be using that and suddenly they change it. They change their mind, saying that no, we are now not using rally, we are using a different tool. So I mean, get used to the process. The process in sense creating test cases, editing test cases, and opening defects, assigning to the developer, all those things. Not the user interface. Okay, user interface like will be different for every time. Here you have this. Sometimes let's say if you got used to this, okay, suddenly the user interface suddenly changes. Okay, now what happens right now is let's say you have used a different tool, completely different tool, and suddenly this shows up and you cannot say I don't know this. Okay, no, everything was good, now suddenly everything looks different here. Okay, you have this different. Okay, so don't get used to the tool. So look at this, the tool gets changed. Get used to the process. Okay, we need to figure it out. Okay, so you have this again, everything will be here in this user stories too. Let's say if you are using a different interface, all is there here. Test cases, test run, defects. Okay. Only thing is user interface got changed. Okay. So if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys.